Hello everyone, Gaming with Big Green, and we're here in Savage Survival, and we're going to try to put a video out to try to help some people understand just what kind of dinosaurs you want to, or beast, that you kind of want to shoot for. Now, we just got Thunderbull into the game. Really beautiful looking beast. And when I first seen it, it was like, oh, we're getting a bull. Like I'm not really excited about that one. But honestly, this character model looks really cool. I really like it. I mean, the detail on the character model is really good. And he actually has some really good stats and skills. So I'm actually kind of excited to get this character. I'm going to try to shoot to get Thunderbull. But again, you guys can see, I mean, even the background in this game and like the overall graphics are just very pleasing and satisfying, which, I mean, there's just so much good stuff about this game. I mean, I don't know how it's not more popular, honestly, but there's some mechanics in this game which kind of make it a little, not difficult, but trying to figure out certain things are kind of hidden a little bit. So what am I talking about? I'm going to show you guys. So I already have my unit in a banner being built. So this is my secondary unit up top. Now you see on the top left corner the troop power. Okay, that's the number 1000 right there, 729. Now when you have full units or whatever, like I'm almost at 1,000,000 in troop power. All right, so it says target, and that's like right below. That's not the target power, that's your power. That power will change if you slide the bar and lower your troops. They don't really put a number on the targets you're trying to defeat in this game, which I don't really like. I wish they would do that, so that way you kind of have an idea of what you're punching up to. But when you're looking at this part of the rally, now real quick, on the bottom left, that's your capacity for the troops you can hold. That is what I kind of base people on, telling people, train until you hit capacity, and then once you hit capacity, kind of start upgrading your troops into the higher level. But I want to point out that the dinosaurs or beasts at top, stats and skills and all that do not apply to them troops. All right, well, they apply, but after the rally starts. So if you remove your dinosaurs, you'll see that number will not change. All right, I can plug in any dinosaur I want, that number will not change. That number is not based off of what you're seeing at the top. The stat bumps you get and the skills you get from your beast do not apply to the original numbers you guys will see. That, what they apply is once the rally starts, and in the battle reports you can see skills being utilized, and then you can see your damage on the battle reports, but you cannot see it. Like in most games, once you change characters, your power will fluctuate on your characters. Not this game, okay? What you're looking at the top does not reflect to your troops until the battle starts. So you can see in here that you get an increase of attack on certain troops, and there's a skill right there, and then also more increase of attack. Now we got to talk about that skill. That's going to be up closer to the end of the video, because if you have so many troops of a certain kind, your skills won't activate. Like my Rex skill, if I have more than, I believe, 60% either rider or hunter in my formation, my Rex skill will not activate during battle. We'll show you the text on it when we get to that part of the video, but you guys can see right here, this is where you're going to see the reflection of the stats the beasts are providing to you. In here is, you know what I'm saying, you can see the hunter attack of 202, and basically my rider attack is 275% up. Now real quick, I want to point out, when you're dealing with damage and HP, That is a significant number over attack and defense. A little bit of HP and damage is way better than any attack and defense you can apply. That's why you only see like a 10% increase of damage in HP, because them numbers are so impactful. So if you can get your damage up to like a 20% damage, you know what I'm saying, that is going to be your best option over just slamming full attack and going 400% attack. You would be better, you know what I'm saying, going less attack and more damage. So again, you can tap on these things and it will show you where, you know what I'm saying, where your power is going to be going to your troops below, and use your battle report and kind of see like, okay, my barbarians are a little bit low, my rider attack is a little high, and you know what I'm saying, you can kind of make your assessment on what you need to change on your dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying, I got 2 dinosaurs increasing my rider attack. I can swap that out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm too high on one, I can swap it out or look for a different option if I want to kind of plug in. So, you know what I'm saying, you can go through and look at the skills. And there's also more skills. Like, you get a base stat skill towards troops, and then you get additional skills or stats inside here. Now, like in here, you can see Hunter damage and Behemoth HP increase. And he also, if you check his base stats, he also provides Hunter attack as well. So he provides attack to your Hunter, but he also provides more damage, which if you have 10%, that's 15% increase of damage, which is very, very nice. So now in here, you can see your buff overview. At the bottom is your combat skills. That's what skills are going to be applying to your rally. Same thing on the skills on the right. That's what's going to be applying to the rally. The skills on the left is the Odyssey. That's for the Odyssey game mode, obviously. But if you look, rider attack, Behemoth defense, rider damage, Behemoth HP. That would be the next one. But one does Hunter, this guy does rider. Like Anki does Hunter, this guy does the rider. So if you wanted to try to increase your damage a little bit more, then you kind of want to look at these skills and see, based off your last battle report, what areas you kind of want to strengthen, or what areas you're over strength and you want to kind of fix other areas. Now, there's also another part to consider when trying to make this decision, and knowing how strong your troops are and what troops are higher in attack versus higher in defense. You know what I'm saying? If you have, and depending on what you're doing too, if you're trying to do Primal Arena where you're just attacking and not taking defense, yes, you're going to want to try to prioritize a higher attack. So find the troops that have the highest attack already on them, and find the dinosaurs that's going to boost their attack even farther, and just either damage or more attack, and boost them troops with a high attack on them originally, and you'll put up a little bit more damage. Now, doing that going into a battle, if you don't have defense and HP, your troops are just going to get murdered, and yes, you'll still do damage, but you'll have a hard time pulling out victory. And also, if they're bringing dinosaurs with attack skills, that's going to take into account as well. And again, your attack skills have certain criteria. Like my Rex, his attack skill won't activate if I have more than 60%. I believe it's Rider or Hunters, but if I have more than 60% of that one troop, my dinosaur attack skill will not activate. Again, we're going to show you that coming up towards the end of this video. But it's all, you can tap on it. You can see you got your set of skills from right here. Okay, that increase your attack, defense, and then you also have your secondary set of skills inside the skill board. So you get your buffs right here, and again, these buffs will, now your capacity applies, but you don't see the number really reflect on your troops until the battle starts. which is very odd to me. I don't know why that is. It doesn't make a lot of sense. At least these numbers should reflect when you're swapping in and out the dinosaurs, so that way you can kind of see, like, okay, I got more power with these guys, I got less power with these guys. It's a little bit wonky, you know what I'm saying? The game mechanics. I mean, this game do got some really, really head scratching mechanics, but it's a very cool game and makes it a little bit different. So you guys can see here too, and we're mostly focusing on the combat skills. This is basically to help people try to figure out what dinosaurs or beasts they want to use for their rallies. And again, it's going to depend on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to do a high damage rally, you're going to want to prioritize your higher damage troops and kind of increase the attack of them troops. Versus when you're trying to attack another city or in an actual battle, you're going to want dinosaurs that have attack, like basically attack skills, and you're going to want defense and damage and HP. But you know what I'm saying, like that's damage and HP is so important, and I can't stress that enough. People should not sleep on that. Don't think that only the 7% of damage is nothing. I'd rather take the 7% of damage than any 80% increase of whatever. Seriously. I already got 10% damage. So if I get a 10% damage dinosaur, which there was one I found that increased the damage by 10%. So when you max that, like when you put that with the 10% I already had, that's 20% increase of damage. That is huge. That's not increasing your attack. Your attack is just some kind of stat that you can only bump up, and it's not going to really give you a wow factor. The damage is going to give you that wow factor. When you're hit with 20% damage or more, you're going to see a significant change in your battles. Like 20% damage is huge. That's the numbers of all your attacks added up, and then your damage is applied on that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to say, damage and HP. That's why the stats are so smaller and a little harder to acquire, and if you look, the damage stats for HP and for damage are on the really good beast. So take that into consideration as well. Now, if we looking at our actual troops, you can see in the top left corner. Now, the name of the troops are at the top: Barbarian, Behemoth, and Rider, and Hunter, all of that. Now, obviously, I got my Hunters in upgrade because I'm about to hit level 26. So I need to get my buildings close to level 26 so I can go to T9 troops, level 9 troops. But you can kind of see, like, if I really wanted to put up more damage, I would look into Behemoth and Barbarians, and especially Barbarians, and really try to increase them for the Primal Arena if I want to put up a really high score, because their attack is already a lot higher. I'm not concerned with defense or HP going into Primal Arena. If I'm trying to put up a high number on damage, we're not taking in damage, so I don't need to focus on HP and defense. So I can kind of build a Primal Arena rally and also a battle rally, if that kind of makes sense, because Primal Arena, you're not going to take damage, so you don't have to really concern yourself with taking damage. Where in a battle, of course, you're going to take damage. But his stats for this is T8 too. You know what I'm saying? They're going to fluctuate with different levels, but these are all level 8 troops I have, and it's, you know, like I said earlier, we're about to hit level 26. That's going to unlock level 9 troops at level 26. But it's very important to kind of know which troops are stronger, which troops are more balanced, what troops, you know what I'm saying? Like, the more you know about your troops, and it is a little bit of a pain in the ass to kind of flip back and forth and say, okay, I got 4 sets of troop. These guys are this. These guys do this. What dinosaurs? Because there's a lot of options we have. So you got to kind of really circle through and take your time and pay attention. And once we figure out what kind of lineup we like and where we can get our most damage from, we'll put out another video kind of showing our lineup and, you know what I'm saying, letting people kind of make their own decision off that. Again, these are just my opinions of how I'm seeing the game and how I'm reading it. And there's a lot of mechanics in this game that are very much wonky. Like the fact that the dinosaur stats don't show to your troops when you're calling the rally. They only apply after the rally or while the rally's going on. That's very wonky. You don't see that in other games. But again, this game does beat to a different drum. I mean, they have no in-game events and they actually give you points for battling. So yeah, that's different. But guys, it's basically preference, what you're trying to do. That's why I'm not putting out any like, hey, you got to have this dinosaur, you need this dinosaur, because it varies kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different options that you guys can do. And another thing to consider is we don't always get to choose, especially early on, who your main dinosaurs might be. You know what I'm saying? Because of the drop rates. If I'm just starting a game and like I dropped a bunch of Great Rex and I'm able to get him to 2 stars, you know what I'm saying, and I don't have any other dinosaurs as stars, obviously I'm going to prioritize my Great Rex. So it depends on what the game is giving you. Like, you're basically getting dealt cards, and you kind of got to play them the best way possible. So when you're getting dinosaurs that are already basically given to you, I like it, of course, but it does kind of make it a little bit harder because you want to kind of prioritize the higher star dinosaurs you have, even though you see dinosaurs that might fit your lineup better. So it's going to be at that point to grind for materials to try to maneuver your lineup. But there's a lot of really good things I see with this, and there's a lot of good options you can do. Now we're going to jump ahead. I want to show people the skill that I was talking about. So right here, I'm going to show you an example of a skill being used. Now this is Amazon Eagle. She's actually our foreign house. She came over in a merger. Then that team became our academy after the Primal Ruin and Battle. And we actually have a double merger going on. But you can see that I have almost 1 million troops. That's because this was the Primal Ruin Battle. But what I want to show is, you see how my Rex didn't utilize any skills, and her dinosaur Anki utilized 3 skills? Well, that's because I didn't realize at the time, but my Rex skill wasn't applying because I guess there was too many of a certain type of troop in the garnish. So that's one thing to consider too. Make sure you take a look at this, because if there's restrictions on your dinosaur, let's see, if you have 60%, if your riders make up 60% of your unit, the skill cannot be activated. So if you have more than 60% of riders in your unit, your skill right here is useless. It will not activate. That's why you see 0 utilizations for that skill during that battle. So you really want to be careful. And like me personally, I don't think I bring 60% of riders. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of had to remember that this was a Primal Ruins battle, so it was a little, I can't control what people are bringing. So for me, going forward, I might not want to bring Rex to my next Primal Ruin battle after seeing this. If his skills are not being utilized, I might try to use my buffs somewhere different. So again, it's basically tapping on, reading a little bit, and trying to figure out what works best for you guys. Again, we're going to have more videos coming out to kind of give our lineup. We'll show off what we come up with, and of course we're going to have a lot more videos coming out to try to help people with the game mechanics behind this. But there's, you know what I'm saying, like, again, I'm looking at mine, but I forget that I have to take into account. Now, I don't know if it's 60% of my roster, because, again, I didn't have 60% increase of riders in my unit. So it has to be with everyone else's, because I really didn't have 60%. I don't know why my skill didn't utilize, unless it counts everyone that was in the garnish with me, or garrison with me. So, again, the game mechanics are very wonky in this game, and it takes a lot of head scratching and trying to figure out where to put these pieces and what's applying and what's not applying. And this game doesn't really tell you or give you a good idea of really what's applying and what's not applying, because, like I said, when you're calling a rally, you're all these stats and stuff, they're not applying to the numbers you're seeing, which is just straight up stupid in my opinion. Like, I don't know why. Like, I mean, I really love this game, but it definitely needs a tune-over or tune-up. I mean, it's got a lot of really weird shit in it. Like, straight up, it's wonky. But it's something that's, like I said, it's all dependent on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to do Primal Arena, you're going to want to identify what troops give you the most attack, and then you're going to want to identify what dinosaurs give you the most attack on them troops, and increase that. And if you have a chance to increase your damage doing that, then go ahead and do that, because increase of damage is better than increase of attack. So make sure you guys, and in here you guys can see your capacity, your troops. You know what I'm saying? You can tap on stuff. Like I said, if you tap on stuff, it gives you breakdowns of stuff, but sometimes it doesn't really tell you anything. You know what I'm saying? But in here you can see your squad information. You can use this to also use your presets. This is right near your wall. But identifying your troops, identifying your dinosaurs to help your troops, and identifying what you're trying to do is huge. You know what I'm saying? Are you battling? Are you going for Primal Arena? Do you want to increase your defense HP for battle? Do you want to increase your attack for Primal Arena? You know what I'm saying? Basically, my best bit of advice to tell you guys, grab a pen and paper. Old school, yeah, I know, we're in technology phase now. Grab a pen and paper, write down, this guy's my strongest, 1, 2, 3. What dinosaurs are going to apply? Okay, I got Rex, he applies to these guys, look at this. And you can kind of get an idea of what you want to do. And just be aware of the skills not activated and certain skills having special requirement. Just like I said, I brought my Rex to battle, and my Rex was basically just a increase of rider attack, which there's plenty of dinosaurs to do that. I didn't get to utilize his skill because there was too many rider troops in the unit. So that's very important as well. You want to make sure that your dinosaurs are going to be as impactful as possible. Now you can see here, their skills were being utilized. Mine, again, were not. But we were garrisoned. Now, if it was a one-on-one battle, I probably would be defeated, even being the better person and being the higher power, because their dinosaurs are just hammering my troops, and I'm missing out on some really. Now you see right here, I'm at 74,000 troops, but my dinosaur did activate here. They're at 116,000 troops. My troop quality was a little bit higher, and yes, they're bringing a Kong, and we were pretty equal, and they had 2 dinosaurs activate, but my troop quality and my troop stats were a little bit higher than what this guy's were. You can see his dinosaurs activate 5 times, 4 times, and I only had 1 dinosaur that activated 1 time. Or 3 times, sorry. But That's very important attack skills. You don't want to sleep on them, but just straight up overall, like, my numbers were just a lot higher than his because my troops are a little bit better. I also have level 5, level 6 chief relics as well. So a lot of that takes into account. And again, it's basically a numbers game, and you got to kind of figure out what numbers you want to play with. But we're going to have a lot more videos coming out. This video is already 25 minutes long. I hope this helps people. If you guys have any questions, or if I can kind of clear up anything a little bit better, again, once we get a solid lineup ourselves, we'll show off what we come up with. Thank you guys for watching. This is Savage Survival. Thank you guys. Thank you, Big Green community. Subscribe if you guys haven't subscribed. Check this game out. It's a really cool game. Give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel. It helps the games. Appreciate you guys. Take care. Thank you all for watching.